Hello and welcome back to today's episode. Today we're going to be looking at SPF, DKIM and DMARC records, what they're used for and how we set them up. So stay tuned. Now, just a word of warning, we are going to be editing DNS records. Now, if you've never done this before or you're not too comfortable doing it, you're either better off having someone who is comfortable doing this work, carry it out, or someone supervise you doing it. If it's a new, as I've said previously, if it's a new domain, a new tenant, and you're happy to have a go, by all means, but there are risks. If the domain and the tenant are already in use, you could stop mail flow. So yeah, just please bear that in mind when you're following the instructions. So what is an SPF record? An SPF record, in the simplest terms, allows the recipient to check that the email has come from you and it is a legitimate email and that it's not been spoofed. Okay, so here we are back in the admin center to do our domain records. So just before we start, if you ever want to find out if a domain's got an SPF record, an MX record or anything, highly recommend mxtoolbox.com. You can put the domain name in here and then click on MX lookup, for example, and that will give you that will look up the MX record and tell you if it has one or not. You can also click on the drop down menu and you've got a whole host of different options that you can choose from. So that's always a handy website to know. So let's get started. We'll start with the SPF. So we're going to go show all, and we want to go to settings, domains, and then we want to go to default, DNS records. Now it's going to flag an error because I've actually removed the SPF record after the previous video, so I can show you. So we are going to want to copy this into our DNS settings. So let's take a copy of that. Now I've already signed in, so I'm going to go up to here. As you can see, we have an MX record, we have the verification code for Microsoft, and we have the auto discovery link. So we're going to click on add record. Then we're going to go to SPF. For the value, we are going to copy in what we've just copied. Like so. We're going to leave the host name empty. TTL I'm going to put down to 1 minute. Some domain hosts might not actually let you change the TTL from the standard, which may be 300 minutes. Some, like Ionis, will let you change. So if you can't change your TTL, it's probably because the register doesn't want you to. So we've done that. And that is the SPF record added. What is a DKIM record? Well, the DKIM record allows the recipient to confirm that the contents of the email, so the SPF record looks after the outside of it. The DKIM allows the recipient to check the internal, the actual content, and to make sure that that hasn't actually been altered or edited in any way since it was sent from your system. It checks encryption keys. Okay, so we're back at the main screen for the tenant, and to add the DKIM settings, we are going to go down to security. Then we're going to go to email and collaboration, policies and rules, threat policies, email authentication settings, and then we're going to choose DKIM. Now, when you come to this screen, it's going to be the status is going to be showing as no DKIM key. For the purposes of this video, I've removed mine, so I need to go in and re-add them. So let's do this. So you'll have a create DKIM key down here, and it will then populate a pop-up window, and it will ask you to copy these two items. So we'll do this now. These are CNAME keys that we're going to be creating. Again, I'm going to set this to 1 minute. Then we're going to do the same for select 2. Click save. Okay, so that is our two DKIM keys added. Now, Invo, we've set it to 1 minute. We may have to leave it 10 minutes or so for it to actually propagate through before we can turn these on. And at a minute, you'll be seeing it will be saying disabled. So we'll need to turn these on after, say, 10 minutes. But yeah, we'll come back to that once I can turn these on, which, well, actually, let's give it a try. We may get a big, oh no, it's worked. Sometimes you will get a big error message appearing. If that happens, don't worry. If you've added the DKIM keys, just wait another 10 minutes or so and then re-add them. But obviously, if your TTL is 300 minutes, you're going to have to wait at least 300 minutes for that. Every 6 months, it's recommended to rotate the DKIM keys. That just updates the encryption key. A DMARC record allows you to determine what happens to an email if it fails the DKIM or the SPF checks. Now, you set a policy in your DNS records, but ultimately it depends on what the recipient's email system is also configured. If it's configured the same way as what your policy is, it'll honor it. If their system's is different, then their system will take precedence. Okay, so the final key we need to add is the DMARC. Now, we don't do anything in the tenant, it's purely in the domain hosting area. So, we're going to go up to Ionis. Now, I have mine already prepped down here. So the host is going to be underscore DMARC, and the value is going to be this. So just to explain, I'm going with a policy of quarantine. There are 3 options, as I mentioned earlier: non, quarantine, and reject. Percentage, I'm saying 100% of the emails, and I'm having reports sent to me every day. So this number here is in seconds, and by default, 86,400 seconds is 24 hours. So that is basically how I'm setting it up. You can start with none and change it over time if you like. It's completely up to you. So let's get this started. Okay, so we are going to choose Add Record. We are going to go to a text file. Now for the host name, I'm going to copy in this. And for the value, I'm going to copy all of this in. And again, I'm going to set this to 1 minute. And that's it. That's the DMARC key added. We've added the SPF record and we've done our DKIM keys as well. So that's helping to secure the email a bit more so that it's less prone to spoofing and impersonation. I hope you found this episode useful. Please, if you have, hit the like and subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when future videos come out. And this will help the channel grow, and I'd be very grateful. Thank you.